Some great memories, because there's very few, at that time, there was very few clubs had a ground they could play on and have a wee game, and I think it was one of the best buys, even better than buying players, having Barrowfield, because it made boys better players, get them a wee bit of ground. Previous to that, it was just a case of running around Celtic Park, and you're lucky if you got a five-a-side, and you could individualise too with players, and sometimes it made them better players. Other times it was a waste of time, so unfortunately, because nearly it's breaking their heart when we're letting boys go, because it was a dream of theirs to wear the green and white jersey, and as it was of mine when I was growing up. And so that was because of my dad. My dad, he was in the 1418 war, and he got a shoulder wound, hit with a dum-dum. And during that time, he used to always visit Celtic Park. Yeah. And he used to tell us about it. And his dream was to get me. Very few realise a dream. But my dad, Lord rest him, he realised the dream when he saw me with that green and white jersey. It pleased them where they were, because they could watch Celtic, which was their favourite club. I wonder why, but it was. Well, all the Irish, were Celtic men.
The fact it was formed by a Sligo man helped as well.
Well, his brother Walford, Andrew Cairns was his own name. He was a County Sligo man. He was a school teacher, I think he was. And it was his dream to get a club going, and it's so momentous. He didn't realise, how big they were going to get.
How did you find walking into Celtic Park for the first time?
Oh, it was a dream, because my dad used to talk. See, at that time there was a lot of ex-soldiers, 1418 war, and of course there was only one club he was wanted to see play. That was Celtic, and of course he drilled that into me. Little did he realise I'd wear the green and white jersey, but I did.
And then obviously you went on to become a coach here and assistant manager.
I came on to be a coach and assistant manager, Jock and myself. He's a hard man, Jock, a nice guy. He knew how to handle players. Yeah. I got the best out of them. Good coaches will get the best out of the players.
I know you were saying Ronnie Simpson brought a lot of composure to the back.
Ronnie was tremendous. Ronnie was a Hibs man, he was an Edinburgh man. And it's the best move we ever made, one of the best moves to get Ronnie. Because not alone was a good goalkeeper, but he made boys defenders in front of him, better defenders.
I know the Lions have said they were scared when you joined in the training games, that they said that you'd kick lumps out of them. They were all steering clear of you.
You got to be careful, you're going to hurt them. Use your shoulders, but you'd never kick anyone. Because we had enough of that when we started professionally as a team. The war players, one or two, fortunately, not many, would go over a ball. You know what I mean? You're drawn on a ball and he'd come in with the flat of his boot like that. Break your ankle or your shin bone. But there was only one or two like that. And of course we had them marked. So we hurt them before they hurt us, simple as that.
But you were known as the Iron Man. I mean, you could certainly take it.
Call me the Iron Man. I took what was going and just got up and never let on I was hurt. And Jesus, I was nearly half crippled. But I wasn't going to let on to them. Yeah. Once I was able to walk, that was the main thing. I remember finishing the game, first 5 minutes. Feel that there.
The collarbone. Yeah. It's a cracker. Yeah.
Player went in with the boot up. One player, won't mention his name, because he's still alive. When you got into a tackle and a guy goes over the ball, he's able to get your knee or your shoulder. I got that. That was Sammy. All right, Sammy, I hope you're listening to this. I don't know what he's still about or not. But I got my one back. I sorted him out in a nice way. I broke his collarbone. So we're even, so we shook hands then.
And Sean, as well, was obviously being at Barrowfield. In a few weeks' time you'll be along the road at the main place, Celtic Park. to unfurl the league flag with the club chairman?
I will be, yeah.
Something you're looking forward to, I imagine?
It's nice. It's nice to be remembered. Nice to be remembered. There's a lot of guys, better names and bigger names than me, and they're forgotten. It's a shame because this happens in football. Players are forgotten. But I'm still remembered, and it must be because I used to kick people.
I don't know about that.
Slow them down to my speed. They were quicker than me, so I said to myself, I need to slow this fella down a bit because he's quicker than I am.
I know you were saying that you had some great trainers here, that the Lisbon Lions and the Cotty Street kids, they were a great bunch of boys for training hard.
Oh, they were. That was very important. It's very important that we made them very, very fit, which was so important in anything, any athletic game. And but some of them you had to watch, you know, had good ability, but didn't look after themselves as well as they should have. That was our biggest problem. I don't know that exists still, but it's a shame to see a player, young player with great ability and great skill, being wasted with drink. That was the biggest problem we had. Players drinking, you know, and there was one player, for instance, he was great on the ball and great entertainer. The club loved him. He wasn't big, he was small, and we'd clap him on the back. Come on, Jinky, get it going, wee Jinky Johnston. He played on the wing. And he took some hard clouts, but he was a brave wee man. I think he was a Blantyre boy. And he was one of the best wingers I've ever seen play anyway. Because he was hard, a great balance, and he'd come up to you with the ball, and before you knew it, he was past you. Wee Jimmy, wee Jinky.
Speaking of great wingers, I know there was one guy you worked with who wasn't the best trainer, and that was Charlie Tully.
Charlie wouldn't have, no. Charlie, in fact, there was one game. Oh, he had all the tricks. And a big crowd at the game too. I think it was Rangers were playing. And that was the time. So everyone knew that. Charlie sat on the ball. Charlie sat on the ball like that, down on the ball. The boy's up to one of his tricks now, don't go near him yet. That was Charlie. He's a great entertainer, great skill, good player. He came from Belfast Celtic. Charlie was a natural.
Yeah.
Some boys they're natural players. Others have got to work at it. And yet it's amazing. The boy may not be a natural player, but with the fact that he was willing to work at the game could improve him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what football, that's what everything is all about, but everything in the athletic sense. But that's very important, keeping the body right.
I know you were saying that you wanted to make sure you were as fit as you possibly could because you didn't have the natural ability of a Charlie Tully or a Jimmy Johnson.
No, they were on the light side, you know. But I was more concerned about hurting players. No, not badly, you know, just shaking them up. Shaking them up a wee bit. So it gave me an advantage, because at times they were inclined to look for me instead of looking at the ball, you know.
And I know you protected some of your teammates. We were talking the other night about John Higgins, who was taking some stick off Baldy Shaw.
That's right.
When you said you went over and had a word with Baldy.
Had a word with Baldy, yeah. Oh, Baldy and I were great friends, you know, and he's a hard man. Good Rangers player, Baldy. Full back he played, left back, and John Higgins, he played on the wing, outside right. He's on the, not well built, you know, but good skill, great skill on the ball. And I warned Baldy, I know, listen, don't kick him or you're in trouble. So you know me, on the one side there's another guy there. He said he'll have you. Okay, all right, I'll take it easy with him. How we used to kid each other on, you know.